I'll come back to you and then you can continue your set of questions.
I'm happy to have Bangladesh now. If
it'll just be 2 minutes.
Senator Shoebridge needs to leave.
It'll just be 2 minutes. Thanks.
2 minutes? Okay.
Yeah. Minister, there's been talk that this is the global year of elections, and in fact the first election for the year was the election in Bangladesh on the 7th of January. Human Rights Watch reports in relation to that election enforced disappearances in the lead up to the elections, or enforced disappearances, extrajudicial killings, substantial impunity towards the government. The major opposition party boycotted the election. There are many people within the diaspora here who say the government does not have a democratic mandate. It's not a legitimate form of government. What has Australia's response been to the election and to the forming of this government, given what we know about the irregularities, would be a polite term for that election?
Senator Gary Cowan, South and Central Asia Division. So, Senator, for Bangladesh, you may have seen also that on the 10th of January, DFAT issued a statement. We welcomed the fact that, Bangladeshis had the opportunity to exercise their right to vote, but we also stated that it was regrettable that the elections took place in an environment where not all stakeholders could participate meaningfully or substantially. And we clearly raised our concerns about the violence and the arrests that had taken place in the lead up to those elections. We urged the Bangladeshi government to strengthen democratic institutions, and we also highlighted the consistent engagement we'd had with Bangladesh on the importance of free and fair elections. And again, before the elections were held, we had done a wide range of advocacy to highlight the importance as we saw it for free, fair and peaceful elections. So we did that in Bangladesh, we did that here in Canberra, and we did that also at the UN.
Yeah, Ms. Cowan, numerous people in the diaspora have been concerned about how the statement welcomed the capacity of the people of Bangladesh to exercise their democratic rights, because, overwhelmingly the message I've received from the diaspora is they don't feel like that was what happened. The principal opposition party was boycotted, their leaders were being targeted and imprisoned, there are extrajudicial killings, there are disappearances. Do you think that language of welcoming the fact that the people of Bangladesh had a right to vote, in hindsight, was probably a poor choice of words, given what we know happened?
Senator, look, Bangladesh is a country of 170 million people. The holding of elections in itself is a positive thing. There were problems with this election that our statement referred to very, very clearly. We talked about in the statement the regret about the ability to participate, appreciating the opposition party boycotted the election. We were very clear about the concerns about violence and arrests. And at the same time, as I say, in the lead up to the elections, we had some 16 times or so since we last spoke about this, Senator, made representations throughout the Bangladeshi system, including to the Prime Minister and a series of ministers. We'd also been clear in statements from our mission in Bangladesh about what we needed to see in the election. We've made representations here. So I think we've been clear about our hopes and expectations, and also about where this fell short. But we also need to, recognise steps where they have been taken.
Minister, my final question is this. Given multiple representations and multiple statements seeking a free and fair election, for which I commend the High Commission and its team in Bangladesh, given that didn't work and what we saw in the election, are Magnitsky sanctions on the table for the senior leadership in Bangladesh who permitted these circumstances to unfold and who effectively directed a deeply unfair, violence-ridden process? Are they on the table now, Minister?
Senator, I think you've heard in earlier evidence in other situations that we don't telegraph sanctions before they're taken.
This has been years and years and years of political violence. The United States took action more than 2 years ago against the same senior leadership who have made this election unfair. What will it take?
Senator, you know, sanctions are one element of a suite of broader measures, and we don't signal in advance where we will take sanctions.
I note the time, Chair.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Chair. Some issues from this morning that I might go back to later if we have time, but I'll keep us closer to home in the Pacific to start off with, please. Thanks, Ms Peake and team. Just following on from Senator Shoebridge in relation to the Australia-Tuvalu